Please chop it off. Like, I'm ready. What's up? What's up? Chop it off. I'm ready. Yeah, that was a tough day. Tough day. Hey guys, so in today's video, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about my breast reduction. Yeah, let's just get right into this video. So basically, how I want to start this video off, I've always had a big chest. Like, from the earliest I can remember, I've always had a big chest. I want to say the earliest I can remember, I remember in 6th grade, I, started puberty, started growing breasts, and I noticed myself growing my breasts when I was in the 6th grade. And, by the 7th grade, I went from being an orange to being a watermelon, literally. 7th grade came around, watermelons all day. 8th grade came around, watermelons all day. Literally up until just before my surgery, I've had watermelons. So from the 7th grade up until before my surgery, I had watermelon-sized tits, literally. I never got bullied about my breasts. I don't know. I've never been bullied about my breasts. I've had people say, oh, you should give me some, like, I wish I had what you got. And in my head, I'm like, no, you don't, because you don't know what I go through. But yeah, never really gotten bullied about it. I made the decision to get a breast reduction when I was a senior in high school. Like, I didn't even know that this surgery was a possibility. I don't know how I found out about it, but I did, and I started doing, like, I didn't really do research. I just, like, looked into it and stuff like that. Based on what I saw and, like, what other people said and, like, the reviews and the information I read, I saw that I was a good candidate for a breast reduction. So I came to my mom and I was like, yo, Ma, like, these boobies ain't cutting it. Like, they gotta go. Like, I really don't want these on my chest anymore. And she was like, no, you're still growing, let's wait, which is understandable. Then I didn't understand it, but now I definitely understand. I was still going through puberty. What's the point of getting surgery to reduce the size of my breast, and then 2 years down the line, they basically go back to that same size because I wasn't done with puberty. I was still growing, basically. We didn't know when I was gonna stop growing. So, I was just like, you know what? All right then, fine. And I was kind of sad too because I really wanted to have the breast reduction before I started college. So I could pop out to college, a new girl with a nice little face and up everything. But yeah, that wasn't the case. College was still okay for me, but didn't get the breast reduction before college. So I start college, I'm in school, this, that, and the third. I want to say by my sophomore year of college, I started to think about breast reductions again. So yeah, I did my research again, basically trying to refresh, what I knew about the breast reduction to see maybe if there was any new information, all that stuff. And I got up to the point where after doing all my research, I started looking for doctors. I remember I was in class. This class wasn't necessarily boring, but like the professor, he really didn't care if he was like paying attention or not. So I just walked out the class. I called the doctor's office and I made my appointment. Luckily, I don't know how this happened, but this literally never happens because I've had to book other doctors. I'll get into that. But when I called this doctor's office to make an appointment, I got my appointment for literally 3 days after the day. I think I called on a Wednesday. My appointment was like on a Saturday or a Friday. Normally when you try to get an appointment with a plastic surgeon, it's like a month to like 3 months you're waiting to, get a consultation or anything like that. But luckily I got mine in 3 days. I was like, okay. So 3 days comes, I go, this doctor was in the city. I speak with him, I speak with the nurses, the PA, everybody, they say I'm a good candidate. They took pictures and everything and they decided to send that to the insurance company. I'll get into all the details and information about a breast reduction later on. Right now, we're just going to speak about my experience. So they took the pictures, they sent them to the insurance, and about a month and a half, it took a very long time, like a month and a half, damn near 2 months, I got a letter in the mail from the insurance company. They denied my request for them to pay for the breast reduction. Now, the reason why they denied it is because, listen to this, it's not medically necessary.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You're telling me having to suffer with back pain is not medically necessary. Having to suffer, I don't even know what you would call this, but because my breasts were so big, my bra would literally, I don't know if you can see in the camera, my bra would literally be right above my, my belly button. That's really dramatic. It wasn't that low, but it was very close to my belly button. And then just pressing my stomach, you know, when you want to sit and everything, and then because the breast is so big, you're sitting like this, and it was so uncomfortable, painful, like unbearable pain. You're trying to tell me having dark marks on my shoulder because the weight of my breast and because I have my strap on too tight is not medically necessary? You know what else they said? They said I should try acupuncture and see a physical therapist. What is that gonna do? But anyway, I basically gave up with the whole breast reduction. I was like, I'm not doing this. This isn't in the plan for me in my life. Maybe down the line, but right now it's just not. It's not gonna happen. And yeah, I just continued focusing on school. I graduated, came back home, all of that stuff. I want to say around November or December of 2019, that was when I, you know, got back on this whole breast reduction train. Third time's the charm. So I decided to do more research on breast reduction. And this time when I did my research, I really went in. Like, I was reading website after website after article, watching YouTube video after YouTube video. I found this one website, I will have it linked down below. It's called Real Self. They also have an app too. When I tell you, that was like the best site I used, the best app I used, everything. People, it's like a community. And it's not just for breast reductions, it's for any kind of plastic surgery, any kind of surgery anybody has. Patients, they, you know, they post their story, you know, before and after pictures, the doctors they went to, their review about the doctor, the nurses, the anesthesiologist, the staff, the hospital, the medical office, literally everything. They literally review everything. Pictures, videos. They speak about before surgery, literally moments after surgery, days after surgery, weeks after surgery, months, years, all of that. Like, it's a good community, and if you are interested in any kind of surgery, I really do highly suggest that you check it out. Like I said before, I will have it linked down below. But yeah, you know, I was doing my research, watching videos, all of that stuff, and I finally came to the decision that now is the time for me to do my breast reduction. Like, I'm done with school. Well, I wasn't done with school. I was still in school, but I was in my last semester. I was like, I can do this, you know, yada, yada, yada. Like, I was like, this is the time for it to happen. And so I spoke to my mom about it again. Oh, and I did speak to all 3 times that I tried to get this breast reduction. I spoke to my mom about it, and of course, I took her opinions and her thoughts and everything into consideration when making my decision. But I spoke to my mom this time, and she was like, you know what? I think you should go for it. If this is something you really want, do it. And you know how many times I done spoke to her about a breast reduction and how I feel like I can't wear what I want to wear. I can't do any of the things that I wanted to do. I never played sports in high school, all because of the fear of my breasts jumping up and down and people looking at me. Little story time. I remember back in middle school, we were playing like double dutch during recess. I really don't think anybody noticed, but I noticed, and I just like overly panicked. So, you know, it was my turn to jump or whatever. And I'm jumping, and I'm jumping a lot more than I would normally jump in public with, you know, my classmates and shit like that, or whatever activity we were doing, you know, that I needed to do for school. I was like really jumping. I was like, okay, I got this. They not gonna see me trip. They not gonna see me mess up. My breast fell out of my bra. I really don't think anyone noticed that it happened, but I do remember feeling the breast fall off the bra, and then I just kept feeling the wire tugging under as I'm still jumping, and I'm like, I stop, obviously. I like go to a corner and I like tug her back in. Man, the memories, the days. Who child? But yeah, I find a doctor, I do my research about him, I decide to call his office, set up an appointment, and I got my appointment, but it was like 2 months down the line. You see, it's really something when trying to get appointments with these doctors. But yeah, I set up my appointment. Upon arrival for my consultation, there were some documents that I needed to like have ready. I had to fill out a form with my information. I had to bring in 2 letters of support. I got a letter from my primary care physician, and I got a letter from my OBGYN. Those 2 letters are basically 2 other doctors who are saying that they understand that I want to have a breast reduction. They see why I want to have the breast reduction, and they agree with my reasoning behind having a breast reduction. It is medically necessary. Like, she needs it. I get my letters together, I fill out the forms, and I head over to my consultation. You know, I got to meet the doctor, the PA, the nurses, the staff, everybody. They take pictures, basically say they believe I'm a good candidate, and because I have my letters of support, the doctor himself is also going to write a letter of support, and they're going to send everything to the insurance company and just pray for good news, basically. Kid you not, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks later, I get a letter in the mail from my insurance, and it's approved this time. When I tell you, when I saw that it was approved, oh my god, I was so happy. I was so happy. Like, I'm tearing up right now because, oh my god, Rebecca, you need to stop. I was like, finally, this is happening. Like, me? Really? Finally, it's happening. It's happening. They set a surgery date. I think it was set for somewhere in April. Don't remember. But as we all know, the pandemic happened. So my April surgery date got pushed to May, like late May. Late May comes. They had to cancel it. They can't have any patients, this, that, and the third. Eventually, by the grace of God, my surgery was finally scheduled for July 1st. And because of the pandemic, I had to get blood work done, which is normal for any kind of surgery. You normally have to get blood work done. I also had to get tested for the virus. They sent me to their hospital partner testing center, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't have my surgery at the doctor's office. I had my surgery in a hospital. And the doctor has like a partnership with the hospital. And because he's a doctor, he's a surgeon at the hospital has like their own labs everywhere. And they sent me to one of those labs to get tested. My virus test was literally the day before my surgery. And I got my results. I want to say I got my results that night or early in the morning. No, I got it that night because the next day, July 1st, my surgery was scheduled for 9 a.m. My mom and I, we get to the hospital. I had to fill out some paperwork. I had to pay my copay. I only paid $200 for my surgery. Yeah, they took me to the back. I had to change it to my gown, all of that. And you know, whenever you go to the hospital, they're always asking you like a million questions. Like, are you diabetic? Are you this? Are you that? They asked me all those questions. I answered the questions. And when it was finally time for the surgery, I have to admit, I wasn't nervous. Like, I wasn't anxious or nervous or like scared or anything. I was just like, please chop it off. Like, I'm ready. What's up? What's up? Chop it off. I'm ready. I'm ready. Literally, like, I wasn't scared, anxious, nervous, none of that. I was just ready for the surgery to happen. It's been so long, since 6th grade. Like, I was ready for this to happen. No funny. Surgery happens. I wake up. I am in so much pain. And I have a high tolerance for pain. I really do believe I have a high tolerance for pain, and I was in so much pain. It was like a whole lot of pressure and then pain on top of it. They definitely did cut all underneath, and that's where I felt the most pain. I'm over here pressing the button like, nurse, she comes. I'm like, pain. And she's like, oh, well, we have you on morphine, and it's already been doubled, so there isn't really much that we could do. And I'm like, pain. She was like, just give me 20 minutes, let's see how you feel afterwards. Like 30 minutes pass, I'm still in pain. I'm like passing out, waking up, all of that. I'm still in pain. I'm pressing a button vicariously because I need my meds. She eventually comes and she gives me Oxy. That definitely helped with the pain. I wasn't really feeling it. It was more so pressure that I was feeling, but it wasn't as much as the pressure I was feeling before, and I wasn't really feeling any pain. About like an hour, I don't even want to say an hour, because when you have surgery, they want you in and out as soon as possible. Well, maybe I guess with this specific type of surgery, like it's not a surgery where I needed to stay overnight. I left home for the same day. But after she gave me the Oxy, about 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later or something, I really don't know, it started kicking in. It was starting to work. Sometime afterwards, they have me get up. They want to make sure that I can walk on my own, that I can use the bathroom on my own. I did all of that. Everything's good. They gave me like some cranberry juice. I love me some cranberry juice. So I was drinking all the cranberry juice. And they gave me, not coffee, they gave me crackers. Yeah, they gave me crackers. I couldn't really eat the crackers. My mouth was just so dry, but I was taking in that cranberry juice. And eventually, you know, they helped me get dressed and everything. And I walked out the doors. I saw my mama, and I was so happy. And she was so happy too. But yeah, we end up going to the car. Mind you, whenever you're gonna have surgery, you're not supposed to eat from midnight the night before. So I didn't eat I stopped eating at 10:30 the night before. So from 10:30 p.m. up until the time they gave me them crackers, and I couldn't eat the crackers because my mouth was dry. I was only drinking the cranberry juice. So mind you, there's nothing in my stomach. My mom and I were heading over to the car, and I damn near passed the fuck out. I'm trying not to curse because, you know, but I passed out. And my mom damn near almost has a heart attack. Like, she was able to get me in the car. Luckily, we had sugar packets in the car. So she opens it, she puts it on my tongue. I'm like, that woke me up. Like, that really woke me up. I'm like, why'd you put sugar on my tongue? She was like, you passed out, you ain't eat, you was probably hungry, your sugar was probably low, you needed it. And so we made our way over to like some Chinese restaurant she used to go to. I've never had their food before. And they make like this chicken on a stick. Oh, I had that chicken. I felt like I was brought back to life. Chicken was mad good. I ain't feel like passing out no more. Like, I was good. I was still kind of obviously weak and like tired. You know, I just had surgery. Major surgery. This is major surgery. I just had surgery. I was tired, but I was feeling a little bit like myself. You know, I had food. I was good. Like, everything was good. From there, I was home and I was in bed, sleeping literally all throughout the day. You know, I still have the anesthesia. I still have the anesthesia in my system. You know, just I'm weak, I'm tired, I just want to lay down and relax. So that was basically how my first day was. I want to say I got up to use the bathroom on my own. I didn't have any help for maybe like 3 or 4 times throughout the night, not throughout the day. Like, because we got home, I want to say I had my surgery at like around 10 a.m. I got home around 7 p.m. but I was at the hospital since like 7 a.m. So, you know, I'm just tired, resting, relaxing, all of that stuff. So the second day was literally sleeping all day. I didn't do much. I was watching Netflix, but I kept falling asleep, so I kept rewinding the episode to go back to the one I remember watching. Nothing really happened on Tuesday. I did notice that my shoulders were hurting me a lot. Now I know why my shoulders were hurting me. Whenever I would, like, let's say I would sit up on the bed, or if I'm like propped up real nice on the bed, the way I would position myself is like this. Like, I was so scared to just be straight up. I was like this the whole time. And when you're like this the whole time, you feel it here, because it's like you're basically you're trying to defy gravity by being in a position like this. And my shoulders was hurting me, and I eventually realized the reason that is because I needed to sit up straight, not slanted or slouched or anything like that. On the third day, literally the same thing. I wasn't necessarily sleeping all day. Like, I tried to get up. I went in like my living room. I tried to sit up and watch TV and stuff. But yeah, the third day was calm. If I had pain, I took my pain pills. My cousins came to see me that day. I remember I ate a sandwich from the deli. Bomb. But you know, after they left, I just went back into the room. I was laying in the bed, sleeping, waking up. And when I was awake, I started watching YouTube videos of other girls who have had a breast reduction, and just like rewatching some of the videos I already saw, looking at some new ones, and seeing those videos actually made me want to go and put on one of my old shirts to see how it looked, because surprisingly I hadn't done that yet. And now that, you know, she's smaller now, she can fit. So I put it on and I was like, oh, you see my little fillers. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, the surgery is really something I've always wanted. I've always wanted the surgery. And now that I have it, I'm so happy. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just that I'm happy, period. And yeah, ever since then, I want to say like for the first week, I was just in bed. I was prescribed one medication. I do not remember the name of it, but I will try my best to put it in the description box. I did my research though. That medication specifically was meant for people who have anxiety. And you know, with a major surgery like this, it's normal for someone to be anxious about it. Me, I was not. Like, I wasn't anxious, I wasn't scared, none of that. But the medication that I took is also meant for pain, but it's also meant to help with, you know, my anxiety and stuff. I didn't know that before I took it. I just thought it was a pain pill also. So I took it, and for some reason, I literally had a headache for like the next 5 days, constant. Like, my head was pounding. I couldn't eat. I tried to eat some food. Like, I literally had to force myself to eat when I couldn't eat. I didn't want to eat. almost, I want to say about 5 days, I wasn't really eating. On the 6th day, whew, the headache was away. I had me some Chick-fil-A and I was happy! But yeah, that's basically my breast reduction story. Please comment any questions, thoughts, or whatever you have down below in the comment section. I will be making a part 2 to this video where basically I'll be giving you guys the information you should know if this is something that you're interested in. You should always do your own research, but it's never a bad thing to have a nice little 10-minute video that basically tells you all the stuff you need to know before you have a breast reduction. So do stay tuned for that video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your post notifications because I post new videos every Sunday. At least I try to. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Peace and blessings. Ooh, child. How long is this video? I hope it's not too long.